You think you did everything good. You spent years training, drama school, workshop, master classes, voice, movement, text analysis, every little thing you could learn, you learned. But nobody, no one, not one teacher, one class, one workshop taught you this. They didn't taught you the skills you will need to survive in this industry. The skills that will actually determine if your career will last or dies. Not talent, not technique, emotional skills. The ones you use every single day. When you're in a waiting room before the audition, before you encounter some casting director or some agent, in the silence after a rejection, in the years when nothing seems to be moving. Gary Vaynerchuk, also known as Gary V, wrote a book called 12 and a half. It's about emotional ingredients that are necessary for business success. I read it as an actor, and I didn't see a business book. I saw a survival guide for this kind of career, the acting career. So today I'm going through every single one of these 12 and a half ingredients translated specially for actors. Let's go. Before we begin, hi, I'm Ivan Mader, and you are on the Act Club podcast. I would like to add some skill that is very important in our world right now. You have already a particular skill at your disposition, a very important skill. You can hit subscribe and allow notification to help me help you and be alerted when one video came out. Thank you. The 12 and a half ingredients: gratitude, self-awareness, accountability, optimism, empathy, kindness, tenacity, curiosity, patience, conviction, humility, ambition, and a half kind candor. Some of these I'm going to go deep on because they hit differently for actors. Other I'll cover fast, but they're all essentials and all of them matter. First ingredient: self-awareness. Gary Vee says it's the most important ingredient. It prioritizes over every single one of them. And I agree. For actors, self-awareness is very important. Self-awareness in this career means knowing your instrument, not just emotionally, but professionally. Knowing your type, knowing the part in which you are good at, what you bring that nobody else does, knowing the gap between where you are and where you want to be, without lying to yourself in either direction. Most actors have a distorted self-image. Either they overestimate, which leads to entitlement, poor choices, wrong auditions, wrong projects, or they underestimate, which leads to everything we talked about in the previous episodes: fear of success, imposter syndrome, etc., etc., etc. An actor with real self-awareness knows what they are right now and what they need to build. They don't audition for a role they are not right for. They don't audition for a role they're not ready for. They don't undersell them either. They have an accurate, honest view of themselves and compassionate picture of their instruments. That accuracy is a competitive advantage because most people don't have it. Second ingredient: empathy. Gary Vee says empathy is the cheat code, and I agree. He says that empathy makes the other skills easier. For actors, it is not a soft skill, it is the craft. But I want to go beyond the obvious here. Yes, empathy allows you to use your instrument emotionally. Yes, it's the foundation of every acting technique. That's the artistic side. But the career side is equally important, and you can use empathy also in your career side. Empathy in your professional relationships with casting directors, with agents, with fellow actors, with people in the industry, with the sound guy, with the light guy, with the best boy, and with the grip. Empathy makes you someone people want to work again with, not just someone that delivered a good performance once. The actor who can read a room, who knows what the director needs in this moment, who knows when to push and when to step back. That actor gets called back. Not because they're more talented, because they're easier to work with. And in an industry based on relationships, easier to work with is a career-defining skill and advantage. And the third layer, empathy toward yourself. The ability to treat your own struggles, the rejection, the uncertainty, the difficult period with the same compassion you would with your best friend. Without that, that career grinds you down. With it, you can go through the hard moment and come out intact. Number 3, tenacity. This one needs no translation. Every actor knows what tenacity means in this career. You live it. But Gary Vee makes a distinction I want to bring here. Tenacity is not stubbornness. Stubbornness is doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting different results. Tenacity is staying committed to the destination while remaining flexible about the path. The actor who tenaciously pursues one type of role, only one market, only one approach, and refuses to adapt, that's not tenacity, that's rigidity. The actor with real tenacity says, I am committed to this career. Full stop. Period. And I will do whatever it takes, learn what I need to learn, adapt what I need to adapt, build what I need to build to make it work. 15 years in this industry. I've seen talented actors quit because of lack of tenacity. And I've seen less talented actors build remarkable careers because they had it. Tenacity is the multiplier. It's what makes every other ingredients compound with time. Number 4, patience. Patience, little one. Yeah, patience. And I think patience is the one that I have to work the most on. And I think patience is the one for me I need to work on the most. For actors, it's the ingredient that can build your career or destroy your career. And here's the specific way it destroys actors. Impatience leads to decisions made from scarcity. Taking the wrong project because you haven't worked in 4 months, signing with the wrong agent because you were tired of being unrepresented. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about here. Accepting terms that undervalue you because you fear nothing better will come. Every one of these decisions sets you back further than the waiting would have. Impatience is expensive. But patience doesn't mean passive waiting. We covered this in episode 34. Patience means trusting the timeline while staying in motion. It's not measuring your chapter 5 against someone else's chapter 20. It means doing the work consistently, building proactively, and trusting that compounding works in careers the same way it works in finances. Neuroscience back this up. Discounting trap we explored in episode 34 is the brain's impatience mechanism. The prefrontal cortex has to consciously override the limbic system's preference for comfort. Patience is not a personality trait. It's a daily neurological decision. Number 5. Conviction. Conviction is a firmly held belief or opinion. Gary Vee uses to mean standing behind a decision without needing external validation. For actors, this is critical because the feedback in this industry is broken. You don't know why you didn't get the role. You don't know why the agent didn't respond because they're not interested, because they're busy, because they're in vacation. You don't know if the silence means no or not yet. In that vacuum, an actor without conviction falls apart. They second guess every single choice. They change their approach after every rejection. They lose the thread of who they really are artistically because they're too busy trying to become what they think the industry wants. Conviction means I believe in my choices, I believe in my preparation, I believe in my artistic direction. Not because someone told me I was right to do so, but because I've done the work, I've made these choices, and I'm going to stand behind them until I have real evidence. Conviction is also what makes a performance land. The actor who fully commit to their choice, even if it's the wrong choice, is more compelling than the actor who hedges in the audition room and in life. Lee Strasberg said, art is in the choice. Number 6, and that's a big one, accountability. This is the uncomfortable one and the most important one for a long career. Accountability means owning your outcomes. Not blaming the casting director who didn't see your potential, not blaming the industry for being unfair, even when it's unfair, not blaming the agent who didn't sign you, the casting director who didn't cast you, the system that doesn't reward talent the way it should. Here's the hard truth. Some of those things are real. The industry is unfair sometimes. Casting is political sometimes. None of that is under your control. There are Nepo babies. None of that is under your control. What is under your control is your craft, your preparation, your choices, your relationships, your consistency, and how you answer to rejection. The actor who defaults to external blame gives away their power. Every time you say, "Oh, I didn't get it because of X external factor," you remove yourself from the equation. And if you are not in the equation, you cannot improve anything. Accountability doesn't mean beating yourself up. Oh, it's my fault, mea culpa, mea culpa. Oh, it's my fault. It's my fault, everything is my fault. It means asking honestly, what was in my control? What could I have done differently? What am I going to do differently next time? That question, asked consistently without self-punishment, is one of the most powerful tools available. Now, the other 6 quickly, quickly, fast. But don't underestimate them. Gratitude. I mean, this one, you have to use it in real life every day, every single day. It's very important. Sometimes you just have to zoom out, take a step back, and see what you have. Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have something to eat every day? Do you have clean water? And are you doing your passion as a work? You live of your passion. You made the choice to be an actor. You chose a career that most people don't have the courage to attempt. So stay here. I know this one wasn't quick, but for me, gratitude is one of the most important. Be grateful for what you already have. Be grateful for what you already have while chasing what you want to achieve. Next, optimism. Not toxic positivity, strategic optimism. Quick question. You just had an audition and you're waiting for the answer. Do you prefer to spend 2 weeks in a bad mood, knowing that you will fail no matter what and you're never the one who's chosen? Or do you prefer to have hope and to spend your 2 weeks in a good mood? That's optimism. Kindness. The industry is smaller than it looks. Everyone knows everyone. The casting assistant of today may be the casting director of tomorrow. The actor you treated badly on set may be the director's friend. Be kind, not as a strategy, as a standard. We need more kindness. Curiosity. The actor who lasts keeps learning new techniques, new markets, new languages, new skills. Curiosity is what keeps the instrument alive and the career expanding. The moment you think you know enough, you stop growing. Humility. Know where you are accurately, without false modesty and without ego. Taking direction. Acknowledging when something isn't working. Being coachable at every stage of your career. The most experienced actors in the room are often the most humble. That's not a coincidence. And ambition. Without ambition, this entire conversation is irrelevant. But Gary Vee makes a point worth holding into. Live for the journey, not the destination. Because if you only feel successful once you hit the big goal, you'll spend most of your career feeling unsuccessful. Ambition without presence is a trap. And now, the half kind candor. And Gary Vee says it's his weakest, the ones he has to work the most on. Kind candor. The ability to balance honesty with kindness. Honesty and kindness. Give and receive real feedback without ego standing in the way. For actors, this is the half for a specific reason. We are trained to be vulnerable, to open up, to feel, to expose, but we're rarely trained to receive this feedback about that vulnerability without getting defensive or shutting down. And we are even less trained to give feedback to collaborators without softening it into uselessness or delivering it in a way that damages the relationship. Think about the last time someone gave you real feedback about your performance. Not, yeah, that was great, real feedback. How did you react? Did you take it in? Did you get defensive? Did you dismiss it? And what about the last time you had something to say to a collaborator, a director, a fellow actor, a coach? Did you say it? Did you find the words that were both true and kind? Kind candor is the half because it's the intersection between ego and craft. And in a profession that demands both vulnerability and professionalism, getting this wrong costs you relationships, growth, and opportunities. It's the half. Work on it. So yeah, that's 12 and a half ingredients. Gary Vee builds this framework for entrepreneurs, but every single one maps out directly onto what actors need and what this career demands. Self-awareness to know your instrument accurately, empathy for the craft and the career, tenacity that stays flexible, patience that stays in motion, conviction that doesn't need external validation, accountability that keeps you in the equation. And the half, kind candor, the one that sits at the intersection of everything. Drama school teaches you technique, experience teaches you craft, but nobody teaches you this. Maybe you're good with some of them, but Did you work on all of them? And without them, talent alone doesn't get you anywhere. That's what the ACT Club is for. One thing this week: go through the list. Find your half, the one you're weakest on, not the one you like the least, the one you really struggle with, and do one concrete thing to work. One conversation, one decision, one moment you choose one of these ingredients. These ingredients are important. If you're curious to see more of this video, be kind and hit subscribe and turn on notifications. I will be grateful if you subscribe, and I have the accountability to post one episode every single week. And I have the conviction, and I am optimist, that if we are all working together, join the club, because we all deserve happiness. Ciao.